Suasday nating aknia. Welcome to Khmer Voices, Season 2. Here, we shine a spotlight on the achievements of the Cambodian diaspora around the world. I'm your host, Vanni, aka Vanny. I'm excited to be back, and we are kicking off Season 2 talking about an organization that's near and dear to my heart, the Cambodian Cultural Centre here in Canada. Now, some of you may know that I'm involved in this newly formed nonprofit, being one of the co-founders and the director of media and communications. Today, I am talking to Sopheaktra Heang. He also goes by Peter, and he is the president of this organization. Now, you may recognize his name since he was a previous guest in the episode called It's Never Too Late. And if you're interested in learning about Peter, you can check out the show notes for the link, or you can simply search for it. You know, we had to cover what's currently happening in our homeland and go into why it's more important than ever to celebrate our culture and heritage. And because this podcast explores the past of how careers and or organizations came to be, we also talked about how and why the Cambodian Cultural Centre was formed. I hope you enjoy the first episode of Season 2.
In Vancouver, unfortunately there is no connection place for Cambodians outside of the temple, and there are things like arts and culture and food and business and philanthropy that are just not happening in the Cambodian community as a unit, and perhaps on an individual level. And this is something that we've noticed in our community, and as a grassroots movement, we've just started something from scratch, but it's been amazing. In the last few months, just since we've started, we've had so many Cambodians who want that connection, and this is happening in Vancouver. We feel this is happening in BC and also throughout the world as well. So this is exciting for Cambodian people across the world. It's also very timely because of our history. This is 50 years been since the fall of Phnom Penh, and there's a new generation of Cambodians who are wanting to reconnect with our culture. So this is a great start, and we're just hoping to build momentum and continue that as we go forward.
Yeah, so it's August 4th as we're recording, but let's give the listeners a timeline of how this came to be. It all started for you with Cambodian rock band, right?
Yeah, since we last spoke a few months ago, I was the cultural consultant for Cambodian rock band, and ever since being a part of that project, it's been amazing. I've met so many Cambodians who have reached out to me and the community, and they've said, wow, like, I can't believe we're doing this. People want to be a part of it. So this is how I got in touch with you. This is how I got in touch with a bunch of people. So we felt that we needed to just start something that we can, we don't have a location, we don't have a center yet, but we do have it in our hearts, and we want to do something that is meaningful. And just to get the ball rolling, we have started it, and ever since then we put on a small event in July, and
which was sold out.
Which was sold out right away. Exactly, and we really did it the Khmer way. Like, we didn't advertise, it just went through word of mouth, and I think there was a hunger and a thirst for people to reconnect with our culture.
When things are meant to happen, they happen fast, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the last things that we left off, I think you asked me what's next, just in my personal life, and I think
personal and professional, like everything. What's next?
Absolutely, yeah, and I think I said, stay tuned, and we actually hadn't really idea of
nothing you weren't planning anything yet.
We weren't planning the cultural center, but as fate would have it, there's just things that sometimes are meant to happen, and we've connected with a few other people, and then we just had a very common goal, a common mission, and we wanted to start something, and we did that, and like you said, we did the Roots of Compassion event. Should we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So just to clarify what our mission is, it's to celebrate Cambodian culture and heritage through arts, philanthropy, and through community building, like by offering language classes, dance classes. We just want the next generation and even this current generation to reconnect with Cambodian heritage, because being outside of our motherland, it's really easy to forget our roots and where we came from. So, Roots of Compassion was a great starting ground in the Lower Mainland. Can you talk a little bit about that? You were a bit more involved in that than I was, because I kind of jumped in at the end because Cambodian Cultural Centre initially was not going to be involved in this project, but we kind of just
Yes.
jumped in, and then I jumped in later.
Right. Yeah, we initially started the Cambodian Cultural Centre as a nonprofit with the aim of having an event in October so that we can celebrate and honor the 50th year since the fall of Phnom Penh, and we wanted to give ourselves a bit of time to plan for that event, which is happening in October. But ever since we started the nonprofit in May, my sister Sophie, who is our community engagement person, she had an idea born to start an event in July. And
remind me, there's about 2,500 people, 2,500 Cambodians in the Lower Mainland. Is that correct, or is that in British Columbia?
Yeah, I think there's about 2,500 in Greater Vancouver, and throughout BC there's Victoria and Nanaimo, and that brings the total of Khmer people to about 4,000.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
So
If you don't know,
the majority of Khmer people are in Vancouver and the surrounding areas. There's also significant populations in Victoria and Nanaimo and the interior as well.
okay, I did not know that. Well, I knew there were populations. We had a community on the island and a little in the interior, but I had no clue that it nearly doubled the number of Cambodians in the province. Yeah, so this July event that sold out that we were part of, we initially weren't going to get involved, but your sister Sophie, whose idea it was, which was born in, I don't know, when did she come up with the idea? She started thinking about it in 2020 or 2021. It was during COVID, and then she started getting artists together, and then it just started getting bigger and more relevant as well. And she mentioned that she was going to promote Echoes of Angkor at the July event. So initially we weren't going to be part of it, but then we got involved, and I think it was really good for us as an organization to be part of that, because it showed us that the Cambodian community really, really did want something like this. And
yes, absolutely.
And that in October, we're headed the right path in October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in July, we printed out some promotional material, some posters and flyers.
Which we didn't even really use.
We didn't end up even using because the event had sold out. And we also had some gracious people that were supporting the event. We were able to invite Khmer seniors for free, children for free. And it was just, we had, in total, including the volunteers, there was just due to the venue space, there was about 150 people that filled up the spot right away. It was such a beautiful event. We got to bring in Cambodian classical folk dance of the Northwest, a dance troupe from Tacoma. So we got to connect with Cambodians from the US. It was their first time in Canada. They performed classical dancing. We got to hear some poems and some songs and some storytelling, which was very healing for our community. We feel that a lot of people especially Sophie, she wanted to start the event. She had the idea for years, and I think it's just a longing for Khmer people to connect, to heal, to really just see each other and celebrate our culture. And this was something that has been a long time coming in the Greater Vancouver area. So we were so excited about that. And it was a really good lead up to our October event, which is Echoes of Angkor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So initially, when we met in May to talk about Echoes of Angkor, we wanted it to be something spectacular, something that people in British Columbia have not seen before, and I think it's becoming that. October would be a good month because that's when we honor our ancestors as well. And being the 50th anniversary of the fall of Phnom Penh to the Khmer Gahom, we thought it's a fitting time and we just wanted to get something done for the lower mainland, and something that the lower mainland and British Columbia in general has never ever seen before. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I want my friends, I want my colleagues, I want the general population, I want my kids especially to know about our heritage. I don't want people to ask me, "Oh, where's Cambodia?" So that's really important for me, and that's why I wanted to do this event. Do you want to share your why behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. You're absolutely right. In Vancouver, we haven't seen the Khmer community really come together cohesively and in unity in a long time. And this is an important year for us because, just to put it plainly, the culture really is in our hands, the people of our generation. And some of us need, like, including myself, our Khmer language needs work. So we need Khmer language classes. We need to learn our culture. We need to have our aunts and uncles teach about cooking and in my personal life, I'm in the events industry, and my wife and I, we run events and we put on shows and we do decor. So we thought that having the event in October we thought that we were just able to put on a really good event in October, something that would be meaningful for the Khmer community, something that we can celebrate. So yeah, so we invited Mr. Jay Chan, who's a Cambodian American singer. He's very well known throughout the Khmer community, and by the like I said, the Cambodian way, we just through the word of mouth, through a family friend, we reached out to him and we got in touch with him, and then we've also invited Heang and I, who's based in Montreal. We have some other local singers from Calgary coming, and then we've invited the dance troupe back from Tacoma. So it's going to be a gala, a fundraising event where we can really kickstart our organization in the Lower Mainland, where we can raise funds so that we can have a place where we can learn Khmer, a place where we can learn cooking. Like I said, all those things that are very near and dear to us on an individual and a familial level, but we want to expand that into our community at large so we can come together and really build something that we can, that's long lasting for our children, for your children, for my children. And that would be, it's just something that our people really long for and we
Mm-hmm.
need.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to address the elephant in the room, the border conflict between Thailand and Cambodia, and the divisiveness that's occurred between the two nations. And, whether you're Thai or Cambodian, my stance in particular, and I know Peter and the rest of the directors in the Cambodian Cultural Centre, we promote peace. And, you know, Thai civilians are civilians as well. So we're not going to go and attack Thailand in general. Civilians are not the ones who are making the decisions, right? I, and the concern with this attack from Thailand is that, they're attacking our culture. And I think for me, the way to combat this is with more love and celebration of our culture. And that's another reason why I think that we need to make this October event a, a significant one. It's already significant in that, it's been 50 years, but considering the current events, this is another way for us to show the world that we're here and that this is our culture and that it's beautiful and we want to pass it on and we're not going to be erased, because the louder that we celebrate, the harder it is to erase our culture.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very important time in Khmer history. There are millions of Khmer people who live outside of Cambodia, and there's not a lot that we can do within the country except for support, through the border relief efforts and to support. But what we can do outside of the country is preserve our culture. And it's really important that we do this now and in this time, that we learn Khmer, our children learn Khmer, and we learn about our history and about our culture so that nobody can take that away from us. And despite anything that may happen to Cambodia, if the Cambodian people are strong and the diaspora people outside of Cambodia living in Vancouver and LA and Paris and New York and Boston, we have a really strong connection to our roots. This is a way for us to not only preserve our culture, but to combat any type of division that's happening in our community. And it's a way for us to unite and love our neighbors, because we, as Khmer people, we know our history, our roots, and we will not accept false narratives. But at the same time, we also understand that Khmer people are deeply loved and deeply love our neighbors. And there are so many Khmer people who have Thai heritage, and our cultures have crossed and mixed paths. And we're not here to point fingers and to say who did what and who started what first. We should focus on ourselves. One thing that we've noticed throughout all the Khmer communities since this is happening outside of Cambodia and within Cambodia is that the vast, vast, vast majority of Khmer people just want peace. Mm-hmm. We just want to move on with our lives. We know what war is like. Our people know what the intergenerational trauma and legacy and destruction that war leaves behind. And this is not something that we want to experience again. And this is not something we want for our people. And I'm sure that the vast, vast majority of Thai people are also like that. So we have much more in common than we do in differences. And let us celebrate our what we have in common, and that we can forgive each other. What we can do as Cambodians is to really be rooted in our culture and celebrate that and never let anybody take that away from us.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back to Echoes of Angkor. That is going to be happening October 25th, and it is going to be a big one, about 400 people. Can you share what people can expect? A performance by Jay Chan.
We
dance.
Are highlighting the event with a concert. So a celebration, because Khmer people, we love to dance, we love to sing, and Mr. Jay Chan, he has been such a great ambassador for the Khmer community throughout the US and Canada. I think he's been to Montreal once, but he's never
Toronto.
Been to Vancouver. Yes, yeah. Montreal and Toronto, because the Khmer community in the East Coast is much larger and well represented. So we are so excited to have him come to Vancouver for the first time. There's going to be guests coming in from Seattle, Calgary, California, and so the concert, and we will also have Heang and I and also Srey Apsara from Calgary. They will be performing music, but also we want to celebrate culture and arts and food, music. So we have different food vendors. We have Top Chef Canada winner Chanti Yen, who is such an amazing person, but he's also highly acclaimed in the food industry, and he will be serving some of our guests.
Fun fact, Chanti was the chef for our former Prime Minister, Prime Minister Trudeau. I thought that was cool.
And yes, that's amazing. And he's also prepared. He's also been the chef for I think the king of Cambodia too. Is that right?
What? I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah, I'm pretty
that.
sure. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's, he's doing such amazing things. I think his grandma is the one who taught him traditional Khmer food, which we all know, but he's putting a modern twist to it, and also just bringing out the fine intricacies of Khmer cuisine, and this is going to be amazing. So he's going to be one of our vendors. We also have Angkor Harvest, who is a local Vancouver catering company, and they serve traditional Khmer skewers with like grung and churut and stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to have on their menu, but we're going to have a fine selection of food for our guests. And then we've also invited back the Cambodian classical folk dance of the Northwest. That is a tongue twister, but we got that. We got it all down. Nekru Mongradi, she has graciously accepted our offer to come back, and we hope that this will birth something in the community where we also have our own dance troupe. And then, hopefully she can be a part of developing that in Vancouver. We will also have film, and it's just a way for us to stand in unity, especially as October comes. We want to help build our community here in BC, but we want to stand strong with our Khmer brothers and sisters in Cambodia and abroad, and to let them know that their voices will be heard and we are together as a people.
So that is what we're doing now at the Cambodian Cultural Centre. I also want to share what our future plan. Well, we talked about our future plans is to offer classes, cooking classes, dancing classes, anything related to our culture, and even networking events, right? Because we've got some impressive people in the Lower Mainland where we can help each other out. And mentorship program, I really want to implement as well, because growing up, I didn't really have a mentor. I kind of had to figure things out myself, and I want to be able to offer that to the younger generation. What do you see happening at Cambodian Cultural Centre? I feel like your vision is a bit grander than mine. Mine is very local.
We've all talked about we want to do these things locally for our community here in BC, and that's what we need. We need networking, we need mentorship, and for young Khmer people, this is a really good opportunity to step in and tap into some of us who have business experience and career networking experience. One of our directors has also been involved in nonprofits previously. We have, and then, yes. So like, as far as like events, culture, and language. Yeah.
Yeah, we also talked about building bridges. Yeah, the bigger picture, like building bridges between Cambodia and the Lower Mainland, specifically in Canada.
Right.
And I think making that connection is so important too. I just don't know. That's just like so big picture for me that I haven't even really thought about how we would get there yet. And right now it's just baby steps, right? Like October's first. And then once we get, some money from the fundraising in October, we can start doing our programs. And then after the programs, we can start like reaching out to businesses in Cambodia where we can support them too.
Yeah, 100%. I think that for us, the vision is big because we should aim big, and we want to be achieving high. And this is not just pie in the sky stuff. This is something that we will implement. But first, we have to do it on a local level, at a grassroots level. But the reason why we named it Cambodian Cultural Centre and just left it at that is because we don't want to be just in BC. We want to be operating throughout Canada. We want to bring together the different organizations that are already operating in Canada, as well as establish a place where Khmer people can come together. Eventually, we will have a center where, as the community in BC is strong, as the community in Canada is strong, it enables us to connect with Cambodia much better and on a greater level, and also cross-border. Like, we know that in Washington, there's 18,000 at least Khmer people. That's the third largest population outside of the US, and we don't currently have a meaningful connection to our brothers and sisters in Washington state. So having a solid place in Canada where we can make those connections is really important. And then also connecting with the Consul General of Cambodia, the people back in Cambodia, where we can do trade networking as well as student networking. These are the things that we want to do on a global scale. So having, first we're going to get our boots in Vancouver and get that going. But the vision is bigger because we believe in Cambodia. We believe in our people. We believe in that this is a new chapter in our history, and it's going to be written by people like us and people who want to get involved. It is our generation and our children's generation. So really it's for the young, for the next chapter in Khmer history.
I also want to make clear, I should have mentioned this earlier when I was talking about, not picking sides and pointing fingers and such. Cambodian Cultural Centre, we stand for peace, but we don't get involved in politics either. And we don't get involved in religion. So we don't promote like any, we don't promote any specific religion because we know that Cambodians are a heterogeneous population. There's Christians, there's Muslims, there's Buddhists, right? So our focus is really about celebrating the arts. And I know that, each religion has its own contributions to Cambodian society, Cambodian culture and heritage. And that's what we're going to be celebrating in that aspect. We're not, promoting any religion over another. We're going to be celebrating the culture and the arts and the history specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just for the longevity and the inclusivity of the organization, we do not want to get involved in politics or religion, but we also want to be supportive of our brothers and sisters. So we will work with the temple. We will work with churches. We will work with organizations, the government, and things like that. It's just that we are really focused on culture and arts and things that unite us. And yes.
Yeah, that's well said. Well said. Well, let's remind everyone again. Echoes of Angkor, October 25th. It's going to be a huge celebration. And where do people get tickets? Go to our website. Can you share what the website is?
Yeah, we can go to Cambodian Cultural Centre.com. That's center the Canadian way with the RE. So SCENTRE.com or .ca, and you can purchase tickets there. We have general admission tickets. We have VIP tickets. We have VVIP tickets, which is just an extra special perk for people who want to contribute to the organization. All the funds that we raise will be going towards, firstly, Cambodian classes, as well as networking and also community events. We want to engage our seniors and our elders. We want to be able to have them teach us. So those are the immediate targets of the organization, is just to start from the basics and learn from there. I myself and you and Lori and other adults, we're currently taking Khmer classes. So it's the ABCs of Khmer, like Ga, Ka, Go, Kongo. And we are, it is what it is. This is where we're at. And a lot of us are like this. We should learn our language, and this is in a way that we can pass it on to our children. So firstly, we want to register, kids that can learn Khmer. That is our immediate goal.
Well, Peter, I also want to give you a shout out because you have poured your heart and soul into this organization, and you are already working. You have your own business. You have 2 young kids. You've got your wife that you need to spend time with as well, and the rest of your mom and your brother in town. So I know that you're and you're taking classes, like not only Cambodian classes, but like professional development classes. I did not know that part. So kudos to you for just carving out some time for the community.
Thank you. I think it's a lot, and we don't want to overburden ourselves. But at the same time, I think that, me personally, I'm just trying to be the person that we can do these things. So just being, physically fit, being mentally fit, being spiritually able. And it's just, I love it. And it's not work. It's not work. And I can't do it alone. We have a great team with us, and we have community members who are eager to get involved, and we can't wait. And we're so excited to see the organization grow the Khmer way, the way that doesn't need, internet. It doesn't need, marketing and things. It's just, we'll do it ourselves. And we're going to look back in time and really see what Khmer people are capable of, because we are a people who have deep roots, and we connect. And if we connect to these roots, we can build great things together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sopheaktra. One last thing, go follow us on Instagram, Cambodian Cultural Centre.
With RE.
That's right. I also want to give a big shout out to Peter's wife, Lori, who's also his business partner. She's been pouring her heart and soul into the Cambodian Cultural Centre too. I'm elated that these people are in my life with their passion and love for our culture. And like me, they're all about getting stuff done. They get things done. If you enjoyed the first episode of season 2, we would love for you, dear listener, to support the Cambodian Cultural Centre, if you can, by attending Echoes of Angkor on October 25th, 2025 in Vancouver, British Columbia. We're on pace to selling out, but there are tickets left. And since the border conflict, we've halted promoting it because, it just doesn't feel right. But now, considering how many of us are feeling the threat of the gradual erasure of our culture and our country, it's imperative we celebrate loud and proud. So if you can join us, please do. And if you can't, please help us spread the word about the event. Sam Akun Charan for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back in a couple weeks